Hello and welcome to India Today. I'm Hesha and joining me for a conversation is Manushi Chhillar and Varun Tej. What's up and congratulations.
Hesha.
Thank you.
Hesha. Yeah, I know what you did. That's the easiest way for me to tell people how my name is because everybody gets confused. But well, let's not talk about me. We'll talk about you because this is your moment. 1st March, Operation Valentine. And you guys are obviously looking forward to the film. So that's not what I'm going to ask you. What I'm going to ask you specifically, Varun, is that for an actor, and you have to pitch in and tell me this, right? When most of it is emotions and you're emoting via your face, your dialogues, eyes, all of that. When you're in a cockpit, when it's an Air Force-driven film, you're masked up most of the times, and the only part that does the talking is the eye.
The eyes, yeah.
Yeah. Just tell me about how did you like nail that, and how processing and challenging was that to sort of just do it with your eyes?
So the thing is, I'm usually not a very loud actor. I kind of keep it very subtle for most of the roles that I play. And even Arjun Dev is kind of a subtle person. Like, he's not too emotional or like too expressive, for the matter of fact. But when we're sitting in the cockpit with the helmet and the mask, it was just the eyes, and we did all the dialogues through that, and certain things weren't translating on screen. Then so we had Shakti. That's when Shakti came, the director. He came into play. He was having a non-stop commentary happening. Okay, he was like, when I was flying, he was like, there's a Pakistan jet next to you. There's someone else like someone's painting you red and all of that stuff. So that kind of little helped me to enact, but I had to do it a little more louder for it to like convey on screen just with the eyes. But I think it came out well though. Yeah.
Manushi, tell me something. When at this given point in time, when you've already had so much adulation as a beauty pageant queen, you know, you've been Miss World, you've been a people's person in a certain way, but personally you're an introvert. Now you're at a point where you have your films releasing, you're interacting with the press and the media. How are you sort of balancing and drawing a line between what's, you know, coming with the fame and your maintaining your privacy?
I've always been a private person, and I think I've maintained that. I started interacting with the media and the press, I think almost 6 years ago.
Yeah.
So it's not something like today. It's not something that's new to me. Earlier it was. Like I was telling you yesterday that for me it was. I was like, who are these people? Why are there so many people? When I came back from this one, I'm like, I want to go home. So that obviously has changed now. It feels very normal to be doing this. And I'd say that I'm shy initially, but once I open up, then I'm a very different person.
Yeah.
I take time to warm up to people. Hence, like now that I've interacted with a lot of people in the industry, in the media, so now I find it a bit easier. But I don't feel like I was never closed whenever we've done interviews in front of the camera. I think that I've always managed to do fairly well. I do understand that as an actor, this is a role that I play, and then I go back home and I get to be the person that I am.
And that's how you balance your social media also, fairly speaking?
Yeah, my social media comes in phases. Like sometimes there's a phase where I'm posting every day, then I'll disappear for a week.
Yeah.
That really depends on like what I'm going through. But yeah, I also like my social media does have some stuff which is about my life, but I don't think I put a lot of myself out there.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's also like a balance. I don't think I overshare on social media or in life generally. So yeah, I mean it's not like I'm particularly going towards one side. I'm oscillating between two different personalities. Yeah, basically I have two personalities, one for work and one for home.
Listen, you're an actor. I'm sure you'll have many after that in your roles.
Many.
But Manushi, tell me specifically, you know, when it comes to the specific industry, a lot of it is about beauty, vanity, appearance, all of that, right? You bring that to the table, given. But do you feel that finally the industry is also accepting you and opening up to you, the actor that you also are?
Yeah, I mean, it'll take time, right? People have seen, and the image of Miss World is so strong.
Yeah.
To kind of, to have that kind of a peak as an actor, it is going to take time.
Yeah.
For me, with every project, I'm learning, I'm growing. Even today, I know when people look at me on screen, they're still looking at Miss World sometimes. And I see that sometimes they're still looking at Miss World and less at
the actor in you.
At the actor, which is fine. I think which is perfectly fine. I think it takes some time also. Now I feel the change. I've started to see that change. Even in myself, in my body language, it becomes a part of you. You know, for 1 year you live this life. I can see that happen. slowly. So I'm sure that other people are noticing that as well. And you don't become an actor overnight, right? You have to.
That's true.
It takes time. Like you've been around and
For 10 years, yeah.
for 10 years, and so I know that with each film, people will get to see something new, and slowly, I mean, they are warming up to me as an actor, and I'm sure like it'll only get better with time.
Yeah. So the common factor between the both of you all is that you all are cross-debuting in different industries altogether. But I think the uncommon factor is the individual backgrounds that you all come from. You come from a family which obviously has, many people must have told you, dozens and more people who are from the industry.
Less than a dozen.
Less than a dozen, but surely many. And Manushi
few dozen.
Few dozens. And for Manushi, it's obviously a completely different background altogether. Her parents are doctors, etc. To both of you all, there's a common question from each side that you all come from. I want you to share a pro and a con.
Do you want to go first?
I mean, I'll go with the pro. I mean, the thing is, obviously we had a lot of access to going to shoots and all of that, and there's a lot of learning that happened before we even, the accessibility to shoots or to my cousins who are actors to hear their stories about what they like and not. I think somewhere it helped us understand what and how this the industry operates. I think that's probably the pro of it, and obviously there is a certain level of expectation when you get in, and you got to balance that. There's a legacy behind you, which was built with only hard work, and you cannot let them down. And there's a sense of risk involved in that when you start off, and people are pointing fingers at you, people are looking at you, and there's a certain expectation that you need to live up to. But again, then my family comes in. They said you don't have to have all these burden on you. You can just go explore and figure it out on your own. I think I've had both of that from coming from my family, and it kind of helped me to kind of sketch my career for me in that way. And if you talk about the cons, so as I told you, there are like a bunch of actors in my family. So the release dates are a real issue for us. So we cannot come on the same date. There are certain fans who love and watch our films, like common fans. So for them, we have to kind of space it out, and that's it.
What about you, Manushi?
The pro would be that because my upbringing and the world that I was brought up in is so different from everyone else in the film industry. I hope so, but I'm sure that there's something different that I bring to the table. And I guess, we are a result of our exposure in life. And that also brings a certain sense of confidence because I've always believed that life is what you make it.
Yep.
And somewhere, I feel that somewhere I'm able to live that because this was not something that was expected of me. No one asked me, or nor did I grow up being told that you have to become an actor. This is something that I chose for myself, and that sense of confidence is something that I'll always have. At the same time, I think the con is just the lack of information and accessibility initially, just to understand a new world. Somewhere becoming a doctor, that was familiar waters for me to sail in. Here, everything is very new. That also makes it very exciting.
Yeah.
But I'm also discovering as I'm going, and I think that's one thing where I feel that, and that's the one thing I'm really trying to catch up on. The fact that this is a very recent change in my life. This completely new profession. It's not like I grew up, learning acting or having access to information about how films are made. So that's something which I'm trying to cover up now.
Yeah. But I have to say that you've been choosing versatile roles, so kudos to that and congratulations for that as well.
Thank you.
But what drove you towards Operation Valentine? What was that one key factor that actually struck the chord for you?
It was purely like when I started reading the script, and I read it in one go, and I really enjoyed it, and I really liked it, and I love the fact that there's of course aerial combat and there's action, etc. But there was so much emotion in the film. There's so much about the characters and the lives of these characters, the lives of Air Force officers, and I really liked that. And I felt that there were different layers to how they were feeling, what they were doing. So I think that's what made it very interesting, and it's a it was a well researched film. I'm my father works for the Ministry of Defence. I've grown up around, families of the armed forces. So, I know that, so for me to be able to see something which is so close to reality and so authentic, but at the same time have so much emotion, have so much drama, have so much more to offer. That balance was very interesting, and there's a lot of sincerity that the writers and our director has put into this film, which you can see from the script itself. And then of course I met the team, I met the director, and then everything else just fell into place. But for me, the decision was made when I had not even finished the script. Like when I'd read like probably 40% of it, and I knew that, okay, this is something I want to do.
So you went with your gut and you went with your understanding.
I was just hoping, I was like, please be good, because I'd already made up my mind. I said, I already like you a lot. So please, like...
I know that keeps happening. Yeah.
I was like, please be good. Please have a good second half. And I was only surprised. Like I was getting even more excited.
Tell me, what's the importance of box office numbers, like for you all individually? Because we've had Fighter, obviously,
right,
which is just right now, right? And then 1st March, we've got Operation Valentine as well. That's done fairly well. You guys have your project as well. How does that sort of dynamic play up in your head as actors? Because, I feel, and correct me if I'm wrong, that obviously a success of the film does define some way or the other the craft of an actor as well, right?
I think it does. Eventually, I think you should let that pressure go off, at least in the beginning stages when you're growing as an actor, you're exploring.
Yeah.
Let the producers and all figure that out. But you will attain a stage where you have to be mindful of the numbers or how much you're being spent on the film. For example, if I'm part of a film and I know I kind of get into numbers, if I see them overspending at a certain spot or an area, I kind of make sure that they control it, so that, because we know we have a limited budget and all of that, and we have to play in that.
Yeah.
And especially when you have a group of people, like for example Operation Valentine, or this is not a kind of film that people would just make for fun.
Yeah, sure.
There's a lot of passion that is driving people towards making this, especially the producers for the matter, because they're the ones pumping in a lot of money through it. I think for them, if they're so passionate at this and they're spending crores of rupees, I want them to have a takeaway. I want them to make some money, a buck or two, so that tomorrow they will come again and make more passionate projects, push the boundaries, make better cinema. I think only in that aspect, I would always want the film to do fairly well, at least for the producers. Obviously, beyond a certain extent, it's not in your hands. There are a lot of things that factor in for a box office hit, like a holiday, like a bunch of things, not just one or two. But at least on a basic level, it has to make a little money to reward those people who are passionately working towards it. See, if you're in this for money, if you ask anyone if they're in the film industry and making films for money, their answer would usually be no, because there are a lot of other industries where you can make tons of money with the same amount of hard work. So you don't work your...
it's a lot of commitment.
And you work so
You
much,
have to
so
enjoy it.
long for 1 year, and your fate is decided in a day. So I think the passion is what drives them. I think for those guys, I feel it's important that the film at least fairly does, at least they make the money back.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I'm seeing great films just breaking even. I think at least that's fine, because at least the makers will have zeal to make another film and like, probably surpass that next.
Have you wishlisted which directors you'd want to specifically work in the Hindi film industry?
I mean, I like Rajkumar Hirani, and I like Farhan Akhtar also. I mean, there are a bunch of guys, but the thing is, I mean, I love their work. I haven't like visualized or anything, but I think I like those directors.
Yeah. Same goes for you too. Do you have a wish list in terms of what you want to do? Because there's so much that you can explore right now.
You use the right word. I want to explore
Everything.
I want to explore and I want to work with different people. My learning has been that, a film is a director's medium, and who your director is determines a lot about what you learn from that set and how you're presented on screen. So I want to work with different kinds of directors and different directors simply because I want to learn as much as I can.
Yeah.
And right now I am in that phase where I
mean, basically
want
for
to
an
grow.
actor, once you step out of your acting school or your NDA or drama diploma or anything, you kind of, the only person who teaches you are your directors.
Yeah.
You kind of, they are your gurus, you kind of keep learning a thing or two from them with every film. So, I mean, even though I mentioned a couple of names, it's not just them. like for example, when I was working with Shakti, I was like, he's a new guy. I don't think I'm going to learn anything from him, but I learned a lot from him too. So you have to be accessible, trying to learn a thing or two from anyone. And directors teach you the best. They kind of shape your career and your act out.
What did you learn from each other? Like one thing.
You go first.
The thing is, when I got in, even though you said I'm from this family and all that, I wasn't very confident as a person. I think that confidence grew with time, with some movies of mine doing well. When I see Manushi, I think from day one she's a really confident person. I think that is something I learned from her. I think to be more confident. And obviously, I mean, like apart from her being a good actor and all of that, that is given. But I think she's a very confident person and very secure in the space she is.
What I learned from Varun, you've given such a good answer now.
Yes.
Okay. What I learned from Varun is...
It's okay, you can say you learned nothing. It's okay.
No, I learned a lot of things from you, my friend. But I think I really like how he balances life. You know, I remember this time when he was planning his wedding and we were shooting at the same time. And you were going to and fro, and you know there was a lot of work.
Yeah.
A lot of work that was happening. But what I like about him is he doesn't get consumed into one thing so much that he forgets the other. And it's so important in life because so many things contribute. And of course, there's a right time for everything. This was the right time for him to also think about marriage. But it's very sweet and it's very nice how I like how he can balance both and give everything equal attention, and that's so important in life to kind of do. You can't make your life about just one thing.
True. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you.
All the best for Operation
Thank
Valentine.
you.
Looking forward in theatres on March 1st.